Alright boys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about some breaking news that just dropped, and that's the Lakers are signing JJ Redick to a 4-year contract. This is insane as Redick has no coaching experience at any level, and he's coming to the Lakers, a team that has more pressure than anyone. Darvin Ham, I didn't think he was the best coach. I mean, he was fired about 2 months ago. There was a lot of question marks with his rotations, and of course the Lakers blowing multiple double-digit leads. I'm actually pretty sure all 4 of the games the Lakers lost, they were up by 10 plus points. So a lot of that has to do with coaching. A lot of it has to do with injuries as well. We know that Vanderbilt and Wood were not out there. If they had been, the Lakers probably end up at least making it a longer series at very minimum. But I'm also looking at the Lakers when they lost 10 out of 13 games after the in-season tournament with 2 4-game losing streaks. They also lost to a team like Miami that didn't even have Jimmy Butler. They lost to the Spurs, Chicago, Memphis. Those are games that you have to win, and because they didn't, now all of a sudden the Lakers were set up to play in the play-in tournament, which they won, and that put them up against Denver, a team that was the worst possible matchup. So overall, Darvin Ham, I didn't think was a great coach. He ended up getting an assistant role with another team. But the reason why I wanted JJ Redick to be hired to the Lakers is because of the upside. He has Steve Kerr and Eric Spoelstra type of upside. I know that's high praise, don't get me wrong, but Redick knows the game of basketball. He already has a close relationship with LeBron James as they have a podcast together. He played in the league. He went to an NBA Finals. He's got a lot of experience, very likable personality. He's taking a job that's pretty much as difficult as anyone else in basketball, because if the Lakers do not win next season, he's going to get blamed. It's as simple as that. Not to mention that LeBron James is going to be turning 40 years old at the end of December, so he's not getting any younger. Not to say LeBron is slowing down, because he's still a great player. He was one of the best, maybe the best players in that first round of the playoffs, but he just didn't really have much else around him. I mean, Bron went out there in the postseason against an elite Nuggets team, averaged 28, 9, and 7, also 2.5 steals, a block. I mean, LeBron James is putting up numbers that he put up in his prime. 39 is just ridiculous. Of course, in that closeout game, in Game 5, Bron had 30, 11, and 9, 4 steals. I mean, he was unbelievable. Shot 42.9% from 3. But the question marks around this roster, there's a lot of them. I mean, for starters, Anthony Davis. Can we trust AD to this point? The guy has not been able to stay healthy. You know, last season, I thought he did a good job of it overall, but played in 76 games, which is awesome. Obviously, played in all 5 postseason games, but really, outside of that, we haven't seen a healthy AD, but when we have, he's been elite. He's been a top 5 player. Of course, we saw him in the bubble, was the best player out there. And, you know, AD in the playoffs averaged 28, 16, 4, and 2 blocks, and about half a steal. I mean, he was awesome. Outside of that, though, the Lakers don't have enough size. I mean, you look at Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura, Gabe Vincent, you know, Spencer Dinwiddie, D'Lo. These guys don't have size. If you go and look at the Timberwolves, right, for example, so go look Timberwolves depth chart, they are just completely loaded with size. They've got Jade McDaniels, who's 6'9". Kyle Anderson is 6'9". Naz Reid is 6'9". They've got, of course, Anthony Edwards. You look at his height, is 6'4", but he's got, I believe, a 6'9" wingspan at the top of my head. Mike Conley's got a big wingspan. I mean, he's 6 foot. He's the smallest guy that they run in their rotation, but, you know, they are just loaded. We know Cat and Gobert are 7-footers, and it's just the Lakers lack size. The Nuggets, the Wolves, even the Thunder, teams like that, the Mavericks, these teams just have length, wings that defend and can shoot, and the Lakers don't have that. So this offseason, the first priority was getting a coach that you can bring in that knows the game, that's going to know how to best utilize his players, but it's also going to be, okay, well, what upgrades can we do? I mean, I'm looking at, like, we'll go back to the Mavericks, for example. They flipped Rashawn Holmes and a first-round pick for Daniel Gafford. And then they traded Seth Curry, Grant Williams, and a first for P.J. Washington. And they got 2 second-round picks. The Lakers didn't do anything. So that was another thing, is they didn't make any moves while a team like the Mavericks did. And because the Mavericks made those moves, they ended up going to the NBA Finals. And the Lakers, if they had made, let's say, 2 trades at the deadline to get better, then who's to say that they don't beat the Nuggets? Who's to say they don't go to the finals, right? So just little things like that that continue to hurt this franchise. Not to mention that they didn't draft well last year. They could have had Cam Whitmore, for example, and they passed on him. And Cam ended up showing that he's got all-star potential. I mean, he has kind of dealt with some injuries, but all these little things are ending up hurting the Lakers. And they also ranked 28th last season in 3-point attempts per game and 8th in 3-point percentage in the regular season. The Lakers, they definitely need to take more threes, but it's also they need guys that can make the threes as well. So 3-and-D players is going to be a huge emphasis for the Lakers. I also would even go as far as saying that they should get a center. AD should not be playing center. He should be playing power forward. Like Dwight Howard, even if he were to come back, I think he's playing in China right now, but I'd be fine with AD and Dwight again, or going out there and getting Valanciunas or something. But just putting AD at the 4, I think, is in the best interest of this team to win basketball games. And with JJ Redick, I mean, I don't think LeBron was going to leave even if JJ Redick wasn't hired, but now he's definitely not going to leave, which means that the Lakers hold the 17th pick. Are they going to use that on Bronny James? I don't think so. I really don't. I think the Lakers are going to use that pick on the best player that they can. It just doesn't make sense for the future of this team to do that. But hey, what do I know, right? I'm just going off of what I would do, but personally, the Lakers could definitely bring in Bronny and develop him. But if I'm the Lakers, I'm trying to win a championship, man. LeBron's not getting any younger. Anthony Davis is not getting any younger. The Lakers, sure, they lost in the first round in 5 games, but they're not that far off. They just went up against the Nuggets, defending champions, a team that they can't beat. I mean, the one team that I would not have wanted to play as the Lakers is the Nuggets, and they happened to get them. Anyone else, I think they would have been just fine. Even Minnesota. I'm not saying they would have won, but that probably goes 6 or 7, right? So getting healthy, getting just better players in this roster and development from some of these younger guys is going to be huge for the Lakers. But overall, this is sort of no man's land because it's not like the Lakers have a ton of draft capital. It's not like they have a young star like an Anthony Edwards to build around, or like a Donovan Mitchell even. Like, they just don't really have that. The Lakers, I bet, are going to go out there and try to trade for somebody similar to that, like a DeJounte Murray, but I think ultimately they're going to settle for just some good role players, guys that can come in and knock down shots and defend. But JJ Redick understands that this is a tough situation, especially for a first-time head coach with no experience. You don't want your first experience to be a team like this, but I think if anybody can do it, it's JJ Redick, because at the very least, Laker fans know that they're getting a guy who knows the game, he knows the in and outs, who played in the league at a high level, one of the best college scorers of all time. Of course, JJ went to Duke. Like I said, he's been to an NBA Finals with the Magic. I like JJ Redick a lot. Whenever he talks, I shut up and listen as a fan of basketball. And I think Lakers fans are definitely going to be very pleased with what he brings to this team. Now, right now, it might seem like a joke because he doesn't have experience. Ty Lue certainly would have been a better option for the Lakers, I'm not going to lie. Maybe even, who was some other candidates that the Lakers looked at? That coach out of UConn. I don't watch college basketball. I'm from Connecticut, so I should absolutely know who he is, but I don't watch college basketball. But I know that the UConn men are coming off of a national championship, right? And the Lakers tried to target him and gave him a $70 million contract, and he declined it. But hey, being comfort as a coach is a good thing. Why would you leave the UConn Huskies? You're making millions. You're winning. Life's great. Before JJ Redick, he's becoming a coach, and I cannot wait. I will be watching every Lakers game, and I definitely will be covering them for you guys.